Nikzad Oraee. Nikzad is a law graduate from City Law School, City University, London, and is currently enrolled in a postgraduate management course in Imperial College, London. His area of focus in law are company law and public international law. And for his master's dissertation, he is researching the legal limitations on business efficiency, with particular focus on employment regulations. He is also planning to commence his Ph.D. in company law and insolvency next academic year. Today, Nikzad is going to talk to us about analysis of ground control codes in the international codes of the International Labour Organization. With that, I turn it over to Nikzad.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to begin by thanking my co-authors and the conference, Professor Penglai, for providing me with the opportunity to stand here before you and present this paper. I would also like to acknowledge my co-authors, my colleague Professor Oraee, who has helped me through everything, and my other co-author, Mr. Arash, Goodarzi, who has also worked a lot towards this conference, towards this paper rather. The title of the paper is The Analysis of Ground Control Codes in International Codes of the International Labour Organization. According to the ILO, International Labour Organization's statistics, 3 billion persons are comprise the total labor force in the world. 45% of which are in the agriculture sector, 35% are in services, 20% are in industrial and mining sectors, and out of that 3 billion persons, 1% are comprised by minors. Generally, labor demands, as we know, are increasing wages, increasing working hours, and so on. But most importantly is the health and safety at work, which most laborers strive to achieve. In recent history, many atrocities have been committed under the premise of labor rights, as we know, and unionization has become popularized due to deteriorating working conditions. Unionization became mostly popular after the Industrial Revolution. However, the first unionization that the history has seen was in 1152 in Egypt, 1152 BC in Egypt. And the aim, of course, of unions is to gain more by moving in concert rather than fighting individually. One of the most predominant examples is the miners' strike in the 1980s in the UK, which followed a lot of violence that at some time. 270 million fatal and non-fatal accidents occur annually according to the ILO statistics. 2 million fatalities, out of those 2 million of them are fatalities and work-related accidents and diseases. And 160 million people annually suffer from work diseases. In terms of economics, the ILO estimates that 4% of the global GDP is lost due to occupational diseases and fatalities. Now, small-scale mines are seen as a big problem towards increasing fatality. They are common in less developed economies where relying on farming and other such occupations alone do not provide for an adequate living. 13 million people globally work in small-scale mines. 100 million people are estimated to depend on their operations. And contrary to the ILO recommendations, 50% of the labor force in small-scale mines are comprised of women. The ILO again estimates that small-scale mines operate, the operations of small-scale mines is responsible for 15 to 20% of global non-fuel mining and they often operate with no or minimal supervision, and thus are often illegal. Now, the potential risks, as we all know, are using machinery in enclosed space, gas explosions, gas operations, and rock falls. Now, accidental damages due to unexpected movements obviously endanger lives and damage equipment. Risk of such damages is escalated in developing countries where small-scale mines are particularly used in larger numbers. Fatality causes are slope stability and roof support failures. And small-scale mines in China, which is an example that we've taken, they employ 20 million people, and 6,000 fatalities are officially recorded by the Chinese government. In Hunan province in China, some mines were closed as many as 2 times by the government, but they keep reopening. Now, our belief is that implementing laws is the best way for improvement. Therefore, legislation with support from government bodies, employers, and unions can provide better and safer working conditions and reduce risks. This is what we think as workers. And our reason for saying so is the example that we've seen in the USA. The health and safety statistics dramatically improved despite sharp increases in production in mines. In 1997, fatalities were 242 in the US, and in 2008 they were recorded at 58, so you see a dramatic fall. And these are largely consequences of the enactment of the Mining Safety and Health Act 1977, which was supplemented by the 1978 Mine Safety and Health Administration Agency, who is responsible for inspection so as to ensure the reduction of accidents and or implementing the provisions of the Act. Now, that was the situation in the US. Internationally, we have the International Labour Organization, who is a specialized agency of the UN. It was established in the 1920s under the Convention of the League of Nations, before the creation of the United Nations itself. And the objectives of the ILO is that they want to advance opportunity for decent working conditions and promotion rights for labor. The framework of the ILO is that it adopts conventions and recommendations. Conventions in international law are basically treaties which are legally binding on member states who ratify the conventions. However, the conventions are usually very general and vague. However, thus we have the recommendations supplementing the conventions. The recommendations basically lay down the principles to be implemented implemented by the convention, which provides more detailed guidelines on how the provisions of the convention